Yeah, look, that's as short as that, and as simple as that. So from my side, I'm saying Tobela, I'm saying Unjani, I'm saying Molweni, Sawubona, who is being represented. And I don't know people who speak these languages here. Dumelan. Yeah, those are my in-laws, you know, they are quite, Dumelan. Hello, who can it? Habari yako kwa heri. Kendugai mere. Keifa haluka. I can go on and on. We are called the African Center after all, so we speak a lot of these languages. You know, I just didn't want to speak the only French. I was going to say, but I wanted your home language one, the business one, not the French. The sister daughter from Jackson. She understands what I'm saying. So colleagues, thank you very much and welcome to your PgDip Summer School. The theme for the winter school this year is Health Workforce Development for Inclusive Health Management and Universal Health Coverage in Africa. Why are we talking about, health workforce development? Thank you, Ganga. There's lots of ongoing challenges in the world. There are ongoing pandemics, complex interactions between health issues and the conditions. There are also issues of aging and people retiring workforce. There are new technologies and demands. And there's a growing aging population, and also due to higher life expectancy, you know, as you know. And lots of people also aging with a lot of long COVID and other various conditions, TB, diabetes, and so forth. All those things are going to be requiring for sometimes retraining. For those who might have already been trained, they are going to require new workforce. They are going to require, ongoing changes and ongoing, retraining on the part of the health workforce. And by health workforce, for us, we are looking at not just nurses, not just health professionals, but professional health and allied professionals, so to speak. So how geared are we to all these new pandemics and other things that are coming out? And how obsolete is some of the training that some of us might have received over the years? What kind of retraining might be needed and necessary for us to be able to, to deal with the challenges that then come up? So that is the basis for the theme that we are sharing with you, and the theme that we've decided to give for our winter school this year, that health workforce development for inclusive health management and universal health coverage in Africa. Others also, even with regards to, someone who calls traditional healers, and then someone shows up in your facility and they want an alternative approach to an alternative healing system, or they will tell you, okay, where can I meet Bazwalwane, where can I meet, I want to see a Sangoma or a traditional healer. How do you respond? Are you fit for purpose when they come to some of those issues? So, those are just some of the issues that we thought we could highlight and we would have an opportunity to discuss. We are also meeting on the backdrop of a number of developments that have happened and continue to happen in the world. With the upcoming local government elections in South Africa, I always like to really observe what happens in that silly season. We all know and we see, I'm sure there are politicians and people are vying for votes. How are issues of health and other related matters featuring on the agenda of those who are campaigning in your context and so forth? What are some of the issues and what is the content of some of the issues that they are raising? Of course, you are aware of the march and march protests that have been dominating the news, and given particularly the social pandemics of the rising unemployment, of the poverty and sexual and gender-based violence and femicide that is happening. Of course, the polygamy series, those of you, I don't know who have not watched it, there's a lot that is happening, in our midst. And I'm thinking that, the polygamy, instead of, I've seen some friends getting very angry about it. And I'm realizing that there must be a need maybe for a national debate and unpacking, some of these issues, because I believe there's a Jonas and a non-Jonas everywhere. They are there amongst us. I may be one of them. So, what is it? There's probably a need for national debriefing to unpack a lot of messages that are coming out, in the polygamy series. And what does that got to do with our health, mental health? What has got that to do with HIV and AIDS and stigma and other things? And there are several, issues I think that we can unpack. But otherwise, other than that, colleagues, a huge welcome to all of you. This is second in-person winter school in a long time. The center used to do it, I think it was 2014, 15, I think when last had winter school. And then last year we came back to the winter school. We were now only offering the summer school. So last year we came back to the winter school and we had our first in-person winter school last year. So this is the second one. And it is always a good opportunity when people come in person to be able to meet, and I know you are all known to each other on your WhatsApp group where you talk about us and without us and the things that, some of you forward them to us, by the way, and they breach the confidentiality that we have agreed on. Corporate practice, we know about some of those things. But I think it is in the nature because we also used to be students and we also used to talk about these things. So we are not worried, although we know who said what and when. Anyway, colleagues, so endless conflicts and wars, the ongoing geopolitical and power realignment in Africa and the world over, the Iran, Israel, and America war, as well as the resultant fuel costs and the cost of living that has gone up remarkably. The growing and urgent need also, to restore the interface of health and spirituality, issues that are going to be unpacked during the winter school itself. We've got a lineup of various guest speakers that are going to be speaking to you about a number of things, and an important conclusion for us, an inclusion there for us, being bringing the business sector into the conversation. Then on behalf of the Africa Center team, colleagues, and indeed Stellenbosch University, I'm privileged to welcome you, our 26th PgDip cohort, our esteemed guests, fellow lecturers, the guest speakers and keynote speaker, that's Dr. Gloria Maimela from Foundation for Professional Development, and Dr. Jameson Malemela from Sibanye Stillwater. We are welcoming you to Stellenbosch University and to our PgDip cohort winter school. A very significant event in our organizational calendar. Just a bit of context for those who might not know, we have a total of 268 PgDip students this year. And deliberately so. Last year we were over 300 and then the university thought it was a bit too high. Compromising on other things, the time and attention we could get. So we began to really aim for 250 students. But we, as things go, it's sometimes very difficult to get the 250 because of the different factors that are involved in your application and processing. But that said, colleagues, we had 659 applicants. And then we have got 267 registered students. And one student we still unregistered. We are doing all we can to support them. We almost wanted to roll them over to 2027. But why are they unregistered? There's a number of things and issues and factors that are beyond them. I mean, for example, one may go to a college, a nursing college, that then closes down. And then you lose your certificate. And then you want to go back to get the certificate, but the college closed down. And then there's a whole journey that is involved. You're having to go to the various authorities and whatever, it may be even new colleges that might have come out of the old one. So those are just some of the factors and the reason why we have continued to hold on to this colleague. But it does create a lot of work on our side, because without your student email address, you are unable to go to Sunday. We are having to make alternative arrangements for you. And that means our staff are going to be working overtime with regards to that. But that said, colleagues, I'm always very proud of the fact that, of the students that were registered by summer school, the females are always the majority. And I'm just pausing very deliberately because it means a lot for me, and particularly when you look at people who otherwise would not even have made it to university, for a number of factors that have got nothing to do with them. And also because either they went to a nursing college, and then from there then become the end. So we are very proud. For us, we see this as a recognition of prior learning and contribution to the transformation within our space and within our university. When you are able to open up, and particularly for the black child and the black student, who for historical reasons and all other things that we may know, if we are able to facilitate, if you are able to recognize your prior learning beyond your nursing diploma, and you recognize all those other things you've done, and then we make it possible for you to come, and then you come into the PgDip, and for others they proceed to do the masters. I get very emotional about it. Others proceed on to do the masters. And what I've noticed, Anya may correct me, Anya, our academic administration manager, I've always been very interested when students are RPL into the PgDip. how do they perform compared to those who have not been RPL? You guessed it right. Most of those who are RPL, they actually perform better and they outperform those who already had their NQ of level 7. I don't know what it is. It could be the site that people feel they're qualified and they get in and then they're relaxed. Or people get pulled in through the recognition of prior learning, RPL. Then they may be feeling that, no, look, they really have to work hard. And often they work hard and they outperform. Not all, but most of them, majority of them, when we look at the stats. So then I'm always thinking, what is it then about it and what is it that could not have been able to bring us into the end of the program? So I have a very special place in my mind when I look at those kind of issues, and particularly when we are bringing a lot of female students into the university, because we all know historically what it has meant for the female, black, and also females in general who have not been able to access higher education. Now, if you are able to access it through this postgraduate diploma, and then those who proceed to do a master's, you've done well. You've done well. So I think maybe let's clap hands to the female cadres and leaders among us. So colleagues, a few things that I may want to actually point out. Winter school is only in person. There is no hybrid. I'm sure that you already knew, but I just thought I should highlight it. Winter school is only in person. It is not hybrid. So for that reason, those who did not make it, welcome. This is our guest speaker, Dr. Johnson Malemela, as well as Dr. Gloria Maimela, the guest speaker for the day. Welcome, comrades and ladies. So colleagues, I was saying that our winter school is only in person, and it's deliberately so. For summer school, we go hybrid because of the reasons I already alluded earlier on. There's a number of delays with the registration at the beginning of the year. The university system, half of them are working, half of the colleagues are on leave. New students who are younger than new first years are coming in, and everything will be just really overload in terms of the system. And that's why we accept hybrid option for summer school. Even though we'd very love to see most of you in the summer school because it's summer and a lot of stuff happens in Cape Town during that particular time. So we are aware of the challenges and delays that some of you have encountered, particularly with the registration. And I think this year has been one of the worst. But we are doing what we can. We are part of the university. We are in the university. And as Africa Center, we don't manage the university system, but we do what we can to try and help. So in the coming year, we are exploring means and ways to avoid some of these issues and challenges that reflect some of you with regards to registration and therefore access to the Sunland and various other things that need your student number in order your student email in order to be able to access that. So a very special welcome to the leaders from the Community Advisory Board and the Desmond Tutu TB Center at Stellenbosch University, based in our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. Where are they, camp colleagues? Thank you very much. So colleagues, these colleagues are coming from the Community Advisory Board at the Desmond Tutu TB Center at Stellenbosch University in Tygerberg, in our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. The CAP is an official and structured group of community volunteers who are responsible for advising our research teams regarding research matters within the community and with whom the Desmond Tutu Center meets once or twice per month for consultation. They also engage closely with the South African national people living in the HIV sector, as well as the Western Cape TB Civil Society Task Team, chaired with their chair, Comrade Dennis Nkwali, who is also one of the CAP members and a community participant at the Africa Center PgDip school in July last year. Dennis was with us last year. So we are happy with this continued exploration and collaboration and relationship because we also are aware that once we become students, sometimes we forget about the community issues and then we forget about who we are and all the other issues that we may not want to bring into the class. So please, colleagues, you are welcome. I want to underscore the importance of community engagement and liaison in research, teaching and learning, and especially for universities in service of society. We will endeavor to make this an important aspect and feature of our learning programs. Not only our summer and winter school, of of course, we'll also be quite keen to try and see if we can explore what that could be for master's induction program. So the camp leaders whom we are privileged to spend a week with during this PgDip winter school, we've got Emike. Who is Emike? We've got Andrea, we've got Uzubenalchi, we have got Bianca. Bianca was looking for you. We are looking for Siavuya, Bulelwa, some smile. And then Bulumko and Nelly Squad. Did I miss somebody? Bianca, I didn't see your hand. Colleagues, you are most welcome. Please engage with the material. Please engage with the learnings that are going to be happening here. Engage with our students, engage with staff and the girls that are here. Give them a hard time. Challenge the narratives that they may be pushing and some of the issues. Please push back. Make your experience and insights count. Make your contributions without fear or favor. So we really look forward. There's a lot to learn across both sides. We appreciate the work that you're doing in the communities and working with universities, but it's also a privilege when you come and then you sit together with us and you explore and you engage on some of the issues. We look forward to learning from you. So colleagues, we invite you all to enjoy the PgDip Winter School, the rich engagement and experiences, the networking opportunities with fellow students, our guest speakers, the community leaders that I've just introduced that are in our midst, and of course the social activities where the informal curriculum and social networking happens. Thank you, colleagues. We really appreciate this. I want to highlight, just taking advantage of this time, colleagues, you are noticing that a number of students are not paying their fees. There's a growing debt. Yeah, I've been asking to say this. There's increasing debt, you know. We find people, they're living the soft life, but they are not paying their fees. We've observed people going to the money shop where some of us were employed by the university. We cannot afford the stuff that they sell in the money shop. But we see people going in and out. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But if you are making several trips and you're not paying your fees, you will come back to buy it. You will not get the certificate you're working hard for. Most importantly, you cannot come back for masters or any other course to the university because you'll be owing and that debt will be showing. So the university will not accept you back. This year, with the unfortunate experience of turning down several master students who were very successfully applied and were very competent for their master's program, we could not take them back because the university said no. And they pick that when they want to register you. Because you already have a student number, you maintain that number for as long as you study here. They enter that, it brings the whole history and what you may be owing. So may I encourage you colleagues to please settle your accounts. I would hate it to come March next year when you're supposed to graduate and you cannot. Or when you cannot get your certificate. After all the hard work you have done in the year. And then getting very good marks for that. We also encourage you to use our social media, promote the winter school itself, share your experiences, look for the Africa Center for Inclusive Health on Facebook and LinkedIn, and then hashtags Winter School 2026, Health Workforce Development, Africa Center for Inclusive Health Management. With those remarks, colleagues, thank you very much. My welcoming remarks to you for the winter school.